Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning meditation. Thank you for being here with all of us today. We are embracing the step of forgiveness this week in our 7 steps for releasing the year and opening ourselves up to new opportunities in the new year. And because Christmas Day is on Monday next week, we're not going to meet for our Monday morning meditation, and we're just going to take an extra week for this forgiveness process. The next step is good times and gratitude from the year, and I will email those questions, and I've been displaying the link to the worksheet with all of the journaling questions for releasing the year, so you can access that at any time. But I think forgiveness deserves a couple of weeks because it's something we generally don't want to tackle. Or when we do, it's a difficult, sometimes our forgiveness work is difficult to walk through. So giving ourselves some extra time for releasing those forgiveness needs this year, I think just feels right. So it works out that Christmas is on Monday, and we'll take that time to be with family and friends, and even in a quiet space on our own. It's all a blessing to us to take that time, some extra time for that forgiveness step. I also want to remind you about the Sunday course through Center for Enlightenment. There are classes going on, and with videos from my mentor, my spiritual teacher, Jane Elizabeth Hart, who taught me about the 7 steps back in 1992. That was a long time ago. And I've been using them ever since, and I use them in my practice as a therapist also, and just love them. And releasing the year is one of the many uses for them. But the video that's been used yesterday for the forgiveness step on the Sunday course is so powerful, and I put it in our email invitation for today so that you can check it out and look at it. If you're not on my email list, let me know, and I'll put you on the list and get you that video. But one of the things that stood out to me was that she's talking about if we don't forgive whatever we need to forgive from this year, we are carrying that emotion into the new year. Even if we don't think we are, if we haven't done our work on it, we are likely carrying it with us. So one of the things I would just suggest thinking about, and I'm doing the same, I'm not just telling you to do it, I'm doing it as well, is to think about what unforgiveness am I in this moment, am I about to carry into the new year? And that's our work. Whatever we come up with as we answer that question, that's our work. We don't want to carry anything into the new year, even if we feel justified. And especially, and she talks a lot about this in the video, especially it's hard to forgive ourselves for whatever we think we came up short on in the year. She also suggests, as you're doing this forgiveness work, to not just think about this year, but 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever is needed. We don't want to carry any of that. And as we forgive it and release it, we are clearing that from our mind-body system and moving into the new year with a clear ability to see new opportunities, to enjoy things, to stretch ourselves a little bit more. If we're holding on to something we did 30 years ago, let's say, like, oh, I did that thing. And then for the next 30 years, I've been saying, oh, well, I can't do anything else because I did that thing. And, we might even not be thinking that consciously, but if we haven't forgiven ourselves, then it is an unconscious block that we're acting out upon over and over and over again. So we really want to bring those things up. And I have, as I've been doing my forgiveness work this week too, I have had interesting things pop up on my phone feed, however that works, from Twitter or Facebook or, whatever, talking about forgiveness. So it's on my radar. I watch a video about forgiveness and then, suddenly I'm getting all these notifications about forgiveness, which I'm okay with. Um, but one of the messages that has come through a couple of times this week has been how forgiving God is. We're just going to step into that realm for a moment, and that God is forgiving in the mind and heart and the infinite presence of God. There's nothing to forgive, because if God is all creation, God is all successes and mistakes and all of that. So it doesn't, like, none of that really matters to who we are. But if we're not forgiving ourselves, then we're the ones acting out. We're the ones being the judge of ourselves. We're the ones acting out of that unforgiveness, whether it's towards ourselves or towards others. So we can ask for God's forgiveness all we want to, but until we let ourselves off the hook and assure ourselves we've learned whatever we needed to learn from our mistakes, from our situations that we've gone through that maybe we're judging for whatever reason, until we do that forgiveness work, God's forgiveness doesn't really mean anything, which is so interesting, isn't it? Like what power we have within our own lives to free ourselves from the bondage we hold ourselves in and the trap we make when we judge ourselves and deem ourselves unworthy or incapable or, whatever we've done to ourselves. And we are the ones who hold ourselves there because of our continued judgment about it. And this is our opportunity always when we forgive, but especially this time of year, because we're really leaving it behind. We want to leave it behind in this year and not take it with us into our new year. So just really wanted to emphasize that today, because it's up for me, and just it's nice to speak out loud, and it's a good reminder to myself to be able to speak it to you and with you during our time together. So get out your pens and paper. I made a list earlier this week of, like, okay, what do I feel like I need to forgive myself for? And I just went through and wrote a whole big list of things. And then I had more things come up this morning when I was working in my processing meditation time this morning too. So, hey, we want to get it all out. So today we're going to use those 7 steps in our meditation time, as we have been doing the last few weeks. But we're going to just kind of touch in with a gratitude and good time step, just to kind of get a feel for it. But we're really going to leave open this forgiveness step a little bit so that we can keep working on it. And of course, even if we went through all the 7 steps today, we can still keep working on whatever it is that we're working on to release the year through the end of the year. And then we want to be on to the next thing, right, for the new year. So anyway, I invite you to get comfortable in your chair, in your meditation space, wherever you are, at home, at work. Take a couple of deep breaths. And just let everything go for the day, from our morning, from our weekend. We just allow a few moments to be present with ourselves, feeling your body in the chair, adjusting so that you're comfortable. Mm. And feel your breath. Let it be coming from your diaphragm, your belly. Just take some regular breaths through the belly consciously and feel your belly expand as you do that. And relax toward the spine as you breathe out. I'm just going to let our focus be on that breath for a couple of minutes. That helps the mind to calm down a little and helps the body relax more. Let that breath be intentional, but relax. And you may be able to feel your body really relax as you are consciously using that belly breath. Feel the movement of that belly as you breathe in and out. Now we move our attention to that basket of the year that we've been using to release 2023. Mine is a basket, and maybe yours is a bowl, or some other kind of container that you can carry in your arm. This container is labeled 2023, and in it is floating all aspects of the year, all of our experience, all of the people, places we've been, things we've acquired and let go, situations we've moved through, our blessings, our losses, our hopes and dreams, our disappointments and difficulties. We just hold this basket with love and gratitude right now. Gratitude for all we have made it through to be here together today. And in front of us, we see that staircase, that beautiful, solid staircase. And there's light shining all around it, billowing down each step. Step forward to the staircase with the basket in our arm. And just feel that light surrounding us, filling our basket. In this light, we step up to that first step. The step of disappointments and difficulties. And we just let those disappointments and difficulties that we have journaled about, thought about, recalled from the year, we just let them kind of peek out above the other items of the year. Recall a few of them, any of them that are still standing out to you. Just acknowledge them and any emotion that might still be around. We release these disappointments and difficulties from the year. Release them, and if there's any journaling we need to do about them, we will do that. Really mindfully, intentionally releasing with love these disappointments and difficulties. Right now, we just let them float up and be absorbed in that light, dissolved in the light. We take a deep breath as we take the next step of hopes and dreams. We recall those desires from the year, some of which were fulfilled, some of which were not. Some of those desires we realize weren't so important to us, some of them still are. All of those come to the surface in our basket of experiences from the year. Just notice anything that remains unfulfilled. Maybe you're aware of those desires you are taking into the new year. Maybe your desires that you don't want to take. Even the desires that we do take into the new year, we're going to release on this step once again. Because we want to cooperate with what the new year will bring. And we want the flow of the new year to guide us throughout the year. So we want to be aware of those desires we're taking into the new year, but to hold them very lightly. We let them, all these hopes and dreams, be dissolved into that light. You release them and let them go. We take a deep breath. Step up to the next step, the forgiveness step. Let all the forgiveness work we've been doing, even have compassion for yourself and give yourself permission to allow to come up all the forgiveness work you haven't done or haven't wanted to do. It's okay. It's just human. And we're here together, supporting each other in the safety and power of this work. It's so much safer. We want to look at it that way to face our unforgiveness areas rather than to pretend they're not there, or ignore them, or stuff them down into a corner deep within ourselves where they're causing us to act in ways we don't want to. We give ourselves permission and compassion to look at those things we need to forgive ourselves for about the year or any year. We let them come to the surface with all the emotion that might be coming up with them. And we just say, I'm willing, I'm willing. Maybe I don't even know how in this moment, but I'm willing. I'm willing to forgive myself. I'm willing to trust myself that I've learned whatever I need to learn. And I can stop holding this against me and instead be accountable and move forward. To be wiser for it, forward. And maybe what's coming to mind for you are the people in your world or in our world that you need to forgive. Let them come to the surface as well. Whether it's somebody you know personally or somebody you see in the news, or maybe it's a situation that has been difficult, whatever that is, just let all of that come to the surface. And sometimes our anger, and my mentor Jane calls it righteous anger, can make us feel so justified in a lack of forgiveness. But whatever rationale we may think is justifiable, the energy of unforgiveness is always a block. It's always heavy, never constructive. And it doesn't allow us to see what real constructive action we could be taking. And then forgiveness is an energy in the world that we see mirrored all the time in the news, world events, world situations. And we can see clearly how unforgiveness pollutes our planet like unrecycled plastic. Even worse. We don't want to add to that. So we Embrace those people we don't want to embrace right now. I always say we don't have to take them to Starbucks, but we can let go of the energy we're holding around them. We free them to learn the lessons that they need to learn, the ones we think they need to learn, and the ones we have no idea they need to learn. And just release them. And all of this right now, we let go into this light. We'll continue doing our work as needed, but right now we let these things go. We take some time to let that light surround us and feel that light in every cell of your body, lifting you, lightening your load. And right now we turn this basket over into this light. Just let it kind of float up. We will continue to do our work on the year. Right now we just release it so that whatever we need to see is light shining upon it so that we can continue to process whatever is ours to process this week. We let our gratitude come to the surface and all the good times from the year too. We take time these next couple of weeks to write down all the things we feel grateful for about this year, all the things we've grown through. Maybe some of those disappointments and difficulties have turned to gratitude. Thank goodness we made it through, or wow, that was really hard and I wouldn't want to have to go through it again, but here's the beauty that has come from it. And feel the love and gratitude in that light, the support, the clarity, and the new hopes and opportunities for the new year. We continue to do this work together. If you have time right now to journal, write down your forgiveness needs, spend some time, maybe write a letter to the person you need to forgive, even if that person is yourself. Let that person know everything. Not a letter to send, of course, but to just process and get out. Or perhaps you want to spend a few more minutes in this light. I invite you to do so. Be in it, let it absorb all these things you've been working on. And if you need to go about your day, just take a couple of deep breaths and feel your body in your chair, your room all around you. Just feel your presence in your body. And move forward throughout your day and your week. I hope you have, I had some tears coming up in that one. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, if that's what you celebrate. I hope you have a wonderful Hanukkah, New Year time, all the celebrations and family gatherings that come at this time of year. It doesn't matter what label they have on them. It's all about love. It's all about forgiveness. It's all about releasing everything from this year and moving forward with more love, more light, more peace, more compassion and more courage to move through all that awaits us in the new year. I will do Monday morning meditation on New Year's Day, which also falls on a Monday. So I will see you again in 2 weeks. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful holiday, and I will see you then. Bye bye.